Hello. As you all know, I sometimes like to do videos. And when I have a thought on my head, and as I said, I'm going to be doing this a little bit more often, probably about once a week, I'll post a video. Anyways, at least right now, because with school, it's kind of difficult and all my other things. So, anyways, today, lately God's been really showing me stuff about identity and how understanding who He is and how He releases things for us and how all of it is like interconnected. So if we have a wrong image of who God is, then we're going to have a wrong image of how He's going to use us. We're even going to have a wrong image of ourselves, a wrong image of other people. So understanding what it is that God is saying to us is important so that we can walk fully in His grace, so that we can do what it is that He's asking us to do. So, sorry, I keep moving the camera. So anyways, last night I was at a praise and worship and fellowship gathering at one of my friend's houses, and she's amazing, by the way. Anyways, I got a vision and I shared it with them. But as I prayed this morning, God's like, other people need to hear this vision. Other people need to understand this as well. But so I'll read the vision and then I'll go a little bit into teaching about it. Okay. So what the vision was Jesus standing there with his arms open wide, as if beckoning you to come and get a hug, and his voice calls out, I have always been here, waiting. As you draw closer, I will release new fruit in your life. There's nothing you have to do except surrender everything to me. You are my beloved child. You have all you need to walk in my fullness and the calling I have for you. So let go, step out. I have you and I will not let you fall. And that's Jesus speaking to you. So I hope that this really touches certain people. There's people out there right now that are questioning, can they do something? So here's something I want you all to understand, okay? Whatever God calls you to do, He will give you the ability to do it. He will allow you to be able to do, He'll give you the tools, He will give you the finances, He will open it up. Okay, you won't have to struggle. You won't have to strive for it. So if you're struggling or striving or you're not getting joy out of what you're doing, basically that's an indication that maybe you're not doing what God is wanting you to. Maybe you're trying to do something in your own power. Okay? And we're supposed to be walking in His power. Okay? It says in Philippians 4:19, it reminds us that God will supply every single need we have. That means that if He calls you to do something, like with me, okay, He's calling me to get my degrees so that I can be a licensed professional counselor to help people heal. Okay, that's what I will be doing with my life. Now, out of that, God's showing me some images and stuff for kind of, like road posts where I'm going. But first, in order to be able to do that, to get the licensing in the state, I have to get my master's. So that's what I'm working on, and everything. And it seems like, oh, it's taking forever, but guess what? God calls you, and it doesn't always happen right away. Sometimes you have to prepare for it. Sometimes you even have to get up and do things. Like for me, I want to lose weight. God's calling me to get my body in alignment with the Word, to where I will be able to do everything that He calls me to do. So guess what I'm doing? I'm sitting there and I'm looking at my diet and I'm aligning my diet choices with what the Word of God says. Okay. And that means like I don't eat a lot of sugar. Okay. In fact, right now I am on a sugar detox. And I think it's gonna, God can do a lot of things. So I'm just, with that, I'm looking at things. So that's something that God's calling for me. And He's giving me the power to overcome, like, I'll hear this little voice inside when I get a craving for something. And so instead of having that craving fulfilled with all the sugar and stuff, I'm finding different ways to make things that I love to eat that don't have the sugar that I can use like monk fruit for. Like I'm even going to be making later today sometime, my own peanut butter, well, not peanut butter, but nut butter. I'm going to use cashew butter. I'm going to make cashew butter cups. Dark chocolate. I love dark chocolate. Except that instead of sugar for it, when I'm using coconut oil, but it's calling for, raw honey in the thing. It and I'm looking forward to how it's going to taste. I'm just going to let you guys know. And I'll let you know if it tastes good. As some of you have probably looked, I post little things about eating healthy and everything in the pictures. But the thing is God's going to supply every need. So if you have a need of being reminded not to eat certain things, he'll do that. He's been doing it for me. It's like I'll get a craving and all of a sudden the thought hits, I really shouldn't have that. Now, is he going to force you to do what he wants? No. He wants people who are willingly going to do what they want. Last night, my friend Hannah, she had talked about in Exodus 3 where Moses saw the burning bush. He saw it from afar and he decided to go and check it out. God is calling to us to come and follow him, to come and check it out, to come and seek him. And that's what the vision was that I got last night. It was about seeking him, coming to him, and from that presence, being able to be released fully into the gifts and the callings that he has for you. And it's not going to look the same for everybody. So one person might have, this amazing gift and be really good at hospitality. I can tell you that's not my gift. Because I am not going to be the type of person that's going to just smile and listen to whatever you have to say and not point something out. I'm the type of person, I'm going to call you on your crap. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to say, look, you're struggling in this. You want freedom, but yet you're not doing what you need to be doing. Guess what? It's not just crying out to God saying, help me, and you have nothing to do. It's like that, I keep hearing this kind of, parable or joke that people tell all the time. This guy's drowning, right? And he's calling out to God, help me, God, right? And a man in a rowboat comes by and offers to help him. He's like, no, I'm waiting on the Lord. And then a big, airliner comes along. Like cruise liner type thing, yacht. And the guy says, no, I'm waiting on the Lord. Okay. And then a helicopter comes by and offers to help pull him up and out of the water. He goes, no, I'm waiting on the Lord. And then he tires and drowns. And when he gets to heaven, he asks God, why didn't you help me? And God says, I sent 3 people to help you and you kept refusing it. Okay. Again, if you want to be released into your calling, it means that you need to have presence with Christ. It means that you need to get forward. Something you need to understand is that you were prepared for good works before you were ever born. You were prepared for a specific person. Ephesians 2:10 says, and I'm using the English Standard Version here. Ephesians 2:10 says, for we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. Okay, and what that means is that you get the urge to do something. Stop letting those thoughts that sit there and tell you somebody's got to be better. Like my friend Hannah said last night, Moses argued with God in Exodus 3. Okay, she highlighted this last night. And the thing is that really hit me was that all of his excuses, God always came back and said, well, I can give that to you. I can make that for you. I will be with you. That's the thing, is God is with you. Stop trying to do it in your own power. Stop thinking you're not good enough. When God tells you to move, move. When God tells you to wait, wait. When God tells you to plant your face on the ground in his presence, then do that. Whatever it is that you're feeling led to do, do it. And then if you have a calling, like if you want to go out and write a book, but you think you're not going to, guess what? God will do it. My friend Becky Phillip, she wrote a book, and it's called The Identity Journal. And some people, it might not be for them, but I find it very helpful. It's like a guided journal, and it's a way you can either do it as a group or whatnot. But the thing is that the point is spending time daily with God. And she's like, I never wrote, but if she had not listened, that would not have come out, and it would not help people. And it is helping people. It's helping people to be mindful, to spend time with God. It's helping people to be helpful, to get released into their identity. So that's the thing, is that, so many people out there think, well, they're not that good, or guess what? If God tells you to do it, he will provide a way for you to do it. Your voice is unique. It doesn't matter if there's similar things out there. How you state something is uniquely you. And that one thing can speak to others. So stop letting lies that you're not good enough, lies that you're not, that you don't have the skills or you don't have the training. If you think you need to get training, then go and get training. But you don't have to have the training to do what God is calling you to do. Moses was, yes, a learned man, but look at, he murdered somebody, okay? King David was a murderer, a thief, and an adulterer. And yet God used him to be able to put the money aside for the temple. And he was called a man after God's own heart. Okay? Esther was a woman who was nobody and yet got elevated to Queen of Persia. Over and over through the Bible. There's what we call it in the Christian circles, the heroes, but we tend to put them on a pedestal and not look at them. But if you actually look at them, they were just ordinary people that God used. Look at Paul, Apostle Paul. He was considered, he was an ordinary man that persecuted Christians, and God met him, and he became whatever he needed to become for whatever God called him to do. Peter was just a fisherman. Matthew was a tax collector. Luke was a doctor. People from all walks of life. Mary Magdalene, somebody who walked with Jesus and was one of the women that helped, with work that she did, fund, and she served and everything, and yet she had been a whore. People from all walks Christ can use. It does not matter if you have specialized stuff. None of the apostles had degrees to preach. So you don't have to have a degree to teach the word. You don't have to have a degree to exhort somebody. You don't have to have a degree to be a positive voice of Christ's light in this world. You just have to use whatever it is that God put in you. So take the vision that I shared. Let go and let God lead you, and he will provide every single thing you need and walk fully in your identity, because you are loved, you are chosen, you were prepared before you were ever formed for good works, for the work that God is calling you to do. He will not let you fall. I hope this reaches who it needs to reach. I love you all. God bless, and remember, keep seeking him.